what I'm doing anymore. Don't have to know. Just do stuff. Don't have to know what we're doing to do it, apparently. It's my new theory. What is that? Oh. Tried to open Photoshop twice, apparently. It doesn't like that. All right. This. I'm going to do this right along here. I'm going to try all the way down here. I need to mix up some more white paint, but we can always do that. This might be a little bit gooey. I'm going to thin that down a little bit. It's nice and it makes even more paint that way. Okay. And that does feel a little gooey. I think I'll both mix up some more white, but make it a little thinner. And add a lot more on there. That's what I think we're going to do. This doesn't feel right, you know. All about the feels this kind of painting. Alrighty, let's see what we got here. Humor! Woo! Oh. Kind of spat a little bit. I went out for my walk and I saw this one scene of the mountains, and you know, it's all gray today. It's like not at all the way I've been photographing it, and it was so different. I thought I'd come in here and at least maybe get the groundwork done for one of these in kind of grays. I'm not sure how it'll look with the sky being so much sky and so much gray, and yet I really want to try it, so we're gonna try it. See what happens to us. I might probably use the blower on this. That seems to do good, but I might use the swiper, might use both. Let's get this good mixed up because I just put in a bunch of stuff. Okay, let's try that again. Is that thin? Thin enough? I might put a little bit more water. You know, I thought I was really overdoing the water, but it's, you know, it's sort of sitting, what I'm basing it on, it's sort of sitting on top and holding its shape. What I think it should do is be thin enough that it does not do that, that it just sort of spreads out there. So let me add a little bit more water in there. Let's try that, at least for the future. This has enough paint on there that it's probably got plenty, and if I don't do anything else to it. All right, now I want to do some layers that are going to be fairly soft. I don't want much color in here at all. So I'm going to do some, like a lot of swiping back and forth till it gets really kind of blended in there. On the, at least on these lower levels. I think, oh man, maybe just a touch of blue. I'm not even sure about that, but let's try it. Okay. Actually, that's fine because we can always go upward with this. If I put in too much more color than I want, I can just keep going upward with it till it does what I want. Till we make it do what we want. Let's see here. I'm just looking for. Oh, that swipe is not right. Let's grab that one. All right. So for this layer of sky, so what it was is I looked at and it just had these layers of gray. I thought, oh my God, that's so pretty. I want to see if I can do that. So let's see. Yeah, see how that's doing that? It's sort of sitting there where I'm doing it. That makes me feel like it's a little thick. Let's get this over here, and then I think I'll get some of those bubbles out of there as well. I feel like that paint may be a tad thick. Let's say for something that we want something fairly soft. Get out there. I'm not sure if the dryer. Let's see if that does anything. I like this gentle feeling there. That I can relate to. It's still got a little bit of this, I don't like that breakage. I want this very, not smooth. I want it to have some interest, but see, it shouldn't be doing that thickness-wise. Okay. I'm going to leave that as a layer. I'm gonna try and build it up in layers as it was the way I saw it, as it was told to me. So then I want a slightly fluffier layer here. I certainly did get that thin down there. Whoop. I'll try a bit of this gray. We're going to really mix that in there. But I kind of like this. This gray has a slightly brownish tint that I think might work well with that. And then I might add just a little bit of this yellow. Just a little bit up there. All right, now I'm going to do a similar thing. I'm going to go ahead and just swipe it a few times and try and get it nice and smooth. But I still want this layer fairly light. I feel like it's getting a little darker than I want. Okay. And then come back in with the blower, try and get this layer. This is amazingly close for what I was thinking I wanted to do. We have some weird breakage here that I'm trying to blow out. Now up here, I want it to start getting darker. Might get a little lighter again near the top, and a little bit darker. I kind of like that cloud the way it is. I may even leave that. I may do that. Just leave that as it is. I'm going to come down here with this gray. I'm working a little more gray. I want to make sure I got plenty of contrast in this top here. You can put a little black in there. I don't use actual black that often. Make sure I'm going to try not to splatter down in there. Try to keep that nice. Just a little bit of this indigo. All right, let me get my swiping thing again. I'm going to just swipe. This has been working pretty darn well for what I wanted it to do. So I'm going to just swipe along in there and up in here. Then we'll get that dryer back out here. I have a little work to do there with some breakage, but we can do that in a minute. I didn't even realize I had this on here. Huh, well, let's leave it. That is some weird formations over here. That is amazingly close to what was in my head. That part there is maybe a little linier. All right, now just for consistency's sake and coverage, I'm just going to do, whoop, I grabbed that undersheet there, I got so excited. All right, let's just put that there. And I'm just going to, just this helps mix the paint that little bit sometimes, you know, just sort of makes it look a little bit more blended in sometimes if you can move it around a little bit. Okay, this is a total I'm going to quit while I'm ahead moment on this sky. That is so close to what I wanted that you just can't even believe what was in my head. If you saw what was in my head and what was on here, you wouldn't believe it. It's that close. Then down here, I want to do one of our little vistas, you know, like we've been doing. So I don't know how much we'll fill in here, but we're going to do a bit. Actually, I don't think I'm going to use that. Like it, but don't think I'm going to use it. I'm going to put, I think I might put some more white down, because these are particularly for these back hills. And we'll get maybe a little bit of, I'll put a little gray in there still, particularly for the back here. I was thinking beige, but now I'm rethinking that. A little bit of this in here and there. And we'll sort of mix that in there. I'm not going to use the blower anymore. Blower part is done. We're going to do it all with other implements at this point. And we'll get out maybe a stick. It's amazing. I quite like gray landscapes. I don't know why, you know. Maybe because I see so much of it here. But I liked them before, too. That's not new to living here that I favored the gray landscapes and seascapes. Some people like the bright blue, but I like a little drama in my skies. I want to mix that in. Now I want just a little bit more color, but I wanted to get it basically underway. I'm going to add a little bit of blue, because this is a background hill. I'm going to use a swiper. Yeah, I'll just use that one. That one's good enough. This looks a little colder than what I wanted. What I might do is just bring it down here, and I can add some more colors in there. So I'm going to add a little bit more color to it. I don't want it jumping out at me too much, particularly back here on a back layer. But I don't want it completely void of anything as well. So I'm going to add a little bit of greens and a little bit of blues. Let's see what we can do with that. I'll mix that up there without it rolling. Sometimes it'll sort of roll across this thing. I don't want it to do that. Okay, that green's a little bit light. I might put in just a touch of the dark red then. Let's see if we can get that color mixed in there. I'll try the swiper. Mix the colors in that way. Because they mix it more. You use the swiper and it kind of annihilates everything, but sometimes that's what you want if you want to blend. Okay, I think I still need some of the darker colors in there. And what I might do is use the straw blower. I wouldn't want to use the hair dryer at this point, because I don't want to wreck that sky. That actually gives us a little bit of feeling of layers of hills already. We didn't need to really work that out like that. That's okay. I like that idea of the, they look a little bit almost like trees. Not quite enough, but almost. Sort of dab along in here. We've got a second layer of hills coming up here. Good. Need to put more paint starting down there. That's fine. Now I think I need probably a little well or something of paint to draw on here. I'll just move that off to the side. And I'm not going to use the bright blue. I'm going to use the indigo. I think too, I might want to use just a touch of a brownish tone. Well, let's not worry about that right now. Let's just get some of these details dropped in here. But this was a Vista I saw today on my walk, and I just came in and thought, no, I'm going to try and get that down there. Get it down there while it's fresh in my mind, what that looked like to me. I'm just sort of trying to mix in some of this. I need a whole lot more than what I put down here, but that's okay. I'll just sort of mix them in here in various ways, as if there's little areas of trees and stuff. I just dropped just a drop of gray in there. Either that or it just appeared. Sometimes that does happen. Happens to the best of us. And even to me. A little more in there. Let me see about, and probably just use this other side of that to get that out of there. There we go. Can you guys see this okay? I'm looking at a reference photo. So I'm going to just rely on what you tell me if you can see it okay. If you can't, I'll look in there and reposition. Just add some more foliage in here. Good? Okay. Thank you. Because sometimes I don't like to stop what I'm doing to check on the visibility, so I appreciate the feedback. Just get a little bit more in here. Just going to try and get some more of this darker blue in there. Okay, I got the biggest air bubble. There it goes. I was going to say I got the biggest air bubble you could possibly imagine. But I think this is adding a little bit more color in there as well, which is good. It needed a little bit more, even though it's a background area. Doesn't mean it's void of all color. And just mix this in here, sort of coming down along in there too. And we'll get a little bit more green and a little darker levels as we come closer to us. Okay. And we'll be putting in some details on this too after the fact. We're not going to do it all like this. We're going to come in later and get some of the, down here. The sky I hope to leave exactly the way it is. But this lower part down here, I might try and blow out some of those air bubbles, but I'm a little concerned about it. Okay, I'd like to mix this in a little better on this back part. It's got the colors now, but they're a little bit too much contrast, I think. Get a small swipe there, I think that will bring in tone down those colors a little bit, maybe. It's still working in there. That's a little too much out there. I might need to put them back in again. That's okay though. Doesn't hurt a thing. It's a little bit back and forth this stage. That's fine. Yeah, the paint, a little too wet. We'll put in, do I have any of those goldish tones? I know what I want to put in. I'm going to put in a little bit. I'm going to do that yet? Not quite yet. I might even mix a color off camera, as it were. And let me see if we can mix something up here that's a little more the colors I want. It's just not quite this hill. I want it to be a little bit slightly different tone than what I'm getting. I just rolled my cap somewhere. Oh, there it is. Okay, that's good. And I want a little of that blue. Okay. I'll use a spoon. Sure, doesn't look so well. I'm just trying to get that onto here. I'm going to try and get those colors in here, into this mountain in the back here. So it's just not quite, it still looks too cold to me. At this point I want the mountain in front, even though these aren't real far away, like not super far away mountains. They're close enough that they shouldn't look too cold and have some colors and stuff in them at this, even close up like this. Okay. If I can get the right tone, I can do the, oh, thank you. If I can get the right tone on them, I can do the details later, but I want the essential tone of the mountains to be right. Let's actually turn that over. Okay. Let's try this one. Sometimes the spoon you can get or a rock. Sometimes I use the rock, sometimes I use a spoon. It's the same principle. It sort of pounces in the colors. Each of these techniques will manipulate the color in a slightly different way. Okay, all right, we're starting to get a little bit more of the background color. All right, this here, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty close to what I'm thinking. Well, that's better than I can do most days. Although, you know, I don't try that much other than my stargazing. I don't really go out a lot at night, as you know. I'm usually asleep so dang early. Such a party pooper. That's me for you. I still feel like I want that a little bit warmer. I'm going to try and tilt it a little bit. Not too much. I don't want to move that sky too much. No, it's not doing too much there. Okay. I still feel like I want a lot more going on in there than what I got. I'm going to try putting it here in this spoon. The colors themselves, though, seem to be okay for what I'm adding. Seem to be what I want to work with. I might put a tiny bit of brown in there just to warm it up. A little bit of this color. Okay. And let's try. I'm going to mix it up right in here in the spoon. Oh, yeah, that's a pretty good color. Okay. Let's try just putting this all along in here. Maybe kind of randomly even. Okay. I'm just going to mix it in this way at first, and then we'll worry about how else to mix it in a minute. Okay. That one out of there. It's a little more the colors I want. With that, might get a little bit of interest without destroying too much there. Okay, that's not too bad. I think I might leave that, and then we'll start introducing lighter green down in here. A little bit more still of the, oh, not that, that's gray. Not that. Kind of come along here, kind of create a little bit of a hillside here, but in front of the other one. A little bit of this color too. Let's see what happens if we swipe it. I'm not too sure, but we're going to give it a whirl. See what happens there. Because what I want to do is create a layer of hill in front of the other one that's there in the back. Really doing much for me. I'll try this again. That is not too bad. You can see that layer forming there. Like I said, we're probably going to add some foliage in there. That's pretty much what we want, I think. And then down here, we'll get a lot more of the lighter greens, I think. Like there's maybe a grassy area in front here, or even we could do something else, like do another layer of hills. So we'll probably have some foliage or something in between these levels. Okay. Let's do this way. This will be like a grass layer. I don't want it more like that. Down here more like that. Oh. Actually, I was thinking I wanted it more vertically like grass, but now looking at it, now I'm not so sure. Let me get my thinner circle again. We can just cross this like that. If we leave that last little bit, then that looks a little like a layer of grass. Oh, it's not too bad. Oh, I mean, it kind of stuck there the way I didn't expect. Okay, maybe do something like that. If we just do that, would that make grassy things? I'm not sure. Kind of hard to try. Okay. And what we probably want is sort of a lighter area, as if the light's hitting this here. Probably want that here and there too. Let's try that for now with just that, and we'll see in a minute. That's what we want to do. Just gonna go ahead with this. go. A little light hitting the area there. I think the back hill may be a little bit too, I might have overdone it trying to make it look more interesting. Let me see if I can soften it a little bit. I know it's a little late in the game to try, but let's see. Oh. It kind of just stuck there in a weird sort of way. Let's see if we can just redo this in a way that's not quite as startling as what it was. So it looks a little bit more behind this other hill. It's just a little too dark and a little too busy to be in front of this other one, I think. Okay. That's a little, that is a little better. And then what we'll probably do is do a little bit that's, I'll put it back in that spoon. That seemed to work okay. A little bit of that, a little bit of this. A lot of these details I want to do after the fact anyway, so I don't want to go too crazy on details here. That's it'll just make you crazy sometimes with the pour paint if you try and get too much into the details. We can try and get some in there. What I'd like to do is at least give the impression of this hill being in front of those back mountains there. Just kind of splattered a little bit of this paint in there. So I will probably try and take that back out there. Where I got it. Oh, where I got it. I keep getting it in there. Oh, that's okay. All right, so then that kind of defines this as being a little bit in front of this other one, which is what I kind of wanted to portray. The bushes help, or the darker foliage, I guess they're trees, bushes, whatever, kind of help define that as being in front of the other one. And let's move that one back out there, and that back out there, and that too. This, we've got a little bit of an issue. It's a little thin. It's a little thin near the bottom here. So, see if we can try and just put a little, I'll just put a little line there and then re-swipe down there and see if we can fix that. So the paint's a little bit thin. Oh, I think I just made it thin again by accident. There. Well, that thickened it up at least. I need to go back in and maybe make it look a little more round and grassy. We can do that. Okay, and I want to come in where I put those bush colors down. I lost it in a couple places, but I did okay in some of it. This I want to just make it look a little bit more like foliage, a little less like a big clump. Just sort of randomize the shapes a little bit more. Not sure what went on there, so we'll just sort of work that out there. I'm still not sure I'm quite getting the 2 layers of hills the way I want, but a lot of that I think we can fix with details after it dries, like we like to do. I don't want anything that looks too much like a swipe that stops, so I just want to kind of work in different colors and things. Alright, like I said, I think we have some detail work to do, but I had planned on that, so that's not a issue. Okay, actually, I think that helped a lot to soften this back mountain to where now these front hills look more in front. Okay. I can hear you all screaming, stop, stop, you've got it. Let it dry now, you're okay. And I think you guys are probably correct. Let's let this dry, and I think we're gonna have another really dynamite one to add some details to. So with that, I think I will quit while I'm ahead, because even this old dog can learn some new tricks. So I will put this to one side, we'll see how it dries, and after it dries, we'll add some details. And now I said that, but now there's that one spot. So it's that one spot, you know that? There we go. Don't know if that really made a difference, but it makes me happier to think it did. All right, guys, well, I'm going to go in and get dinner going. But like I said, I just really wanted to just get this out here while I was thinking about it, and it's pretty close to what I saw when I was out. So I'm happy with myself, and I'm glad we did this. And I will see you all soon. Bye-bye. Oh, thank you. Just gonna put this to one side, then turn off the camera. That way we've got a little extra over that lag in case anybody says anything to me. I won't rudely ignore you. Okay, see you guys later.